Hello, welcome in everyone to this week's chapter of New Blood by Night. So as you come to from the vision, there is a feeling of urgency, an overwhelming desire.
I shout out loud, Stone, we need to find Robbie now. And I use heightened senses to see if I can smell Robbie or I can smell iron or blood or copper, sorry.
Roll a wits and awareness.
All right. Okay, that's something I can do. Nice. Oh boy, that's also not good. Okay, 4. All right. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, I rolled really well today. Okay. That is 7, baby. 7.
There is
1 crit and 3 onks.
a scent of copper in the air, but it doesn't smell like a Kindred's. It smells mortal.
Oh, yeah. I immediately, with all the decks and that I have, tapping into my celerity, just go for it. Just go towards that scent, because I know what the door looks like, the area, right?
Yeah, you had, for the most part, you think it's one of the public bathrooms in this large park area.
Okay, so I go towards the scent.
With a 7, you narrow it down incredibly. It isn't the one closest to you, it's the one furthest from you. You're not alone. Stone joins you, shooting across the night like a star. There are mortals lingering, but you can tell with a 7 that a lot of them are tricked out. Very, very high, and your breach of the masquerade is less important to you than, well, Robbie. The box-like structure that you get to has caution tape around it. There's also a sign that in your heightened awareness you can read. It says, toilet out of order, use the west gate. And the smell of blood is everywhere. It's so thick. And when you get to the door and you try to push it open, it's locked coming up behind you, elbowing it relatively hard. Stone gets it snapped and popped open. And then the sound is this guttural. And there's this swallowing. And this crunch. Inside, you are only paused a moment, Aurora, in your shock. But the bathroom has been rearranged. The toilets have been pulled from their plumbing and set up as a kind of obstacle course. And there are crushed, what look like prescription medication that form a trail for someone maybe highly addicted to follow into this trap. It's the work of leaping through, going underneath all of the stalls that he's rearranged, and the toilets and etc., or like leaping up and over. Which one would you like to do?
What is the fastest route that I can perceive?
You think they're both going to be about the same? They'll just take, one will be more dexterous and one will be more athletic.
All right, I'll take the more dexterous route. And I do have Cat's Grace, so...
All right, go ahead and roll. You'll get an extra 2 dice bonus to this.
Okay. And then...
So you're going to be rolling your dexterity and athletics with 2 dice. As you're going to like drop down and go under, like, woo.
All right. Then +2, and then, okay. All right, let's see. Ooh, the dice say yes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jesus, okay.
Okay. You crawl under. Several I don't want to, they're not sabotage, the obstacles set up before you, and you scurry underneath them in rapid fire succession. Then you hear Stone talking to someone outside, and the door closes. So it's just you. And you see Robbie holding this mortal, and the guy's not moving. And Robbie's eyes are glowing, and he's got this kind of monstrous cast to his face. His skin is stretched really taut. You can see all the tendons. The jaw looks like it's unhinged in some way, wrapped around this mortal's throat, and he bites in harder.
Oh, I immediately like you know what you do with the dogs when you put your hand like between their jaw, like
yeah, and you pull down.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to be strength.
And I'm gonna do that and stick my hand or like a fist in his mouth.
Okay, so we're gonna do strength and brawl or athletics, your choice.
I'm gonna do athletics. Okay. And then hold on, let me do this. Like that. Okay. Cool. Shit. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. That is gonna be a 3.
Okay, let me roll for Robbie. Okay, he also got a 3. So you get your fist in. You manage to have his jaw unlock on the mortal. The guy drops, not moving, not breathing with your heightened senses, and Robbie bites into your hand, bites into that fist, fangs sinking deep. There is something just incredibly feral about him.
All right, I'm going to use toughness, which is going to have to do a rouse check. So this is... Oh, thank God. Woo! All right, so that means that, let me put it up here. All vampires with this power exhibit an ability to ignore damage that would otherwise inconvenience and even disable others of their kind, while the power alone gives no protection against bades and other aggravated damage. The protection it covers offers. So basically, subtract the fortitude of the defender from all superficial damage sustained.
Okay.
This occurs before... Yeah, so basically...
you won't take any damage, because the two of you tied.
Yeah.
But it's...
And she says, Robbie, snap out of it! Robbie, come back! Robbie, what would your father... Please, stop! Come to your senses!
Okay. He's going to lunge at you. Or back for the mortal who's bleeding out on the ground.
Oh, I will protect the mortar at whatever cost. And, yeah, I will do whatever it takes and just stick my hand further if he's going to try to lunge for me. I'll just, like, put my fist down his throat even more.
Okay. All right, so kind of a punch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like the goal is to snap him out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
To keep him from going after the mortal at all costs.
Because you have Cat's Grace, go ahead and add a +2 circumstance bonus to this, strength and brawl.
Okay.
Because you're just gonna shove hard and fast.
Yep. Shit. Strength. Okay, that's that. This. Okay. Oh shit. No, I also have that. Nice. That's gonna be another 3.
Oh boy. Okay. And he's biting.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, he's trying to disengage to get to the mortal.
Yeah,
All right, he also got a 3. So the two of you you're like on top of him, fist pushed further back. He's making this horrible sound, kind of clawing at you, his back pressed down on against the toilet, clawing around. His nails are like causing sparks to fly off of the stone. Mm-hmm. And you do hear Seth talking to someone outside the bathroom, and there's another realization because you have heightened senses activated aura. There are kindred out there. Kindred that sound like they're questioning Seth. Robbie does not seem to be coming to his senses.
I say, I'm gonna yell out as loud as I can. And I hope they take this, because Aurora's being sincere in all of this. He's going to die if we don't do something. Please save him. And she's not talking about Robbie. She's talking about, I can't stop him on my own. Please, I'm sorry. Just try to help this man. Please.
Roll a charisma and leadership.
Okay. Do I get an extra dice because I have pack leadership?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. Thank God. And she will say out loud, she's like, I'll take the punishment. Just, I need to make sure he lives. Okay.
You do have willpower.
I knew I am going to use willpower because I got a 2.
Okay.
I rolled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Go ahead and reroll it.
I rolled. I just want to let the I rolled a 2 out of many dice, which was very sad.
Sometimes
Okay.
dice does not favor.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And a what's it called? A crit on a red dice is fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's gonna be 7.
Okay.
Way better.
As you, it's this feeling that permeates from your words. But it's more than just a feeling. It's more than just like a bubbling or a burning underneath your flesh. There's a power to your words. A significant... It almost feels like a discipline. Your blood's roused. You're holding Robbie down. The weight of your voice carries the weight of the blood. And Robbie goes still. And his eyes stop glowing. And he blinks. And then the doors open. And all of the saboteur maze-like obstacles are being pulled away from Kindred. But there's a second where it's just you looking down at Robbie as Robbie's having this realization of what he may have just done.
Knowing that he's back in control, I'm gonna try to do a medicine check on this guy because I have very basic medicine.
Go ahead.
On
Intelligence
this
medicine.
All right. Oh, thank God. I'm very glad. Finally, first medicine check, guys. Woo. Shit.
Us.
Yeah, I hope it's enough.
Mm-hmm.
I invested. Okay, I have to re-roll because I was cocked. Shit. All right. That is 1, 2. God damn it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5. I had a crit, but I had a skull, so no more. No crit. So just 5.
How many did you get? I'm sorry.
5.
Okay, 5 is enough to stem the bleeding at his throat. He needs medical attention now.
Oh my god, did I do that?
Robbie, we need to talk, but first we need to... Do you have any, like, first aid? Okay, we need to stop the bleeding.
I don't have anything.
I've stopped the bleeding.
As the last of the pieces of the bathroom that have been rearranged are pulled aside, it is Seth standing there, and a relatively round-faced Kindred, expression pinched and furious.
I've stabilized him, but he needs medical attention now. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I should have kept a tighter. And I look at the pincher. I was like, he's new. He doesn't know any better. It's my fault.
So you're his sire, then? Is that what
I'm
you're
not.
saying?
I'm not his sire. We found him, and he's one of the only.
It's a pretty big fucking breach on someone else's territory.
I know. I'm sorry. I should have. I didn't explain it to him. Listen. I've stabilized him. We can make it so he doesn't remember this.
The Kindred
But
comes
I can
over,
make it up to you.
squats, feels the human's pulse, makes a disgusted sound in the back of his throat. There's a moment where Seth is looking at you like, I could kill him, and like makes a small motion, like, do you want me to? But he clearly...
I shake my head and I mouth and I look at him with that I can handle this.
Okay. And then as the Kindred with a kind of pinched face, he's very robust looking. He's very ruddy. He's just gonna haul the person up, and he's gonna tell you to get your child in order. You'll talk outside.
And I moved to Robbie, and now I asked him, Robbie, what happened? I told you. Actually, don't answer that. Robbie, this is... I don't know if Damien didn't tell you this, but the hunger never goes away. And the more you refuse it, the less control you will have. This is what happens.
His eyes are wild. His shoulders lift in a shrug, shaking his head. You can tell that he's...
I didn't know. I don't know. I just... It just happened. I don't know.
I give Robbie a hug, and I'm like, it's gonna be okay. I'll take care of it. It's gonna be okay.
Robbie has
I'll take
just
care of it.
incurred his first stain.
I'm gonna take care of it. It's okay. And I'm just stroking his hair, and I'm just trying to comfort him.
Seth from behind you. We don't have much time. You're going to have to deal with these politics with tact and awareness. Unless... And he makes another motion, like thumb across neck. We take negotiations.
I'm gonna take Seth by the I let go of Robbie. I take Seth by the collar. I'm like, we're gonna do this my way. I'm sick and tired. There's a different way to do things. And if we think that we can just come in here and just gallivantize and do what we want, we'll never get what we need to do done.
His eyes are glittering, and he nods.
This is what a leader does. A leader takes responsibility for the mistakes of their group.
You shouldn't have to take responsibility for... What the fuck happened
Robbie,
in this bathroom?
The best thing you can do right now is calm down. We're gonna have to talk about this. But right now I have to deal with what's outside. It's my fault. I should have... I should have
It's not your
prepared
fault,
you.
Aurora.
I should have said something.
No, it's not your.
It's gonna be okay,
I'm gonna call.
no matter what happens.
I'm gonna call Damien.
Let me handle this, and then we can keep him up to speed. I'm also... Give me the chance to be a leader, okay? I'm trying. Just... I need to do this.
Okay.
Seth is just nodding, eyes glittering, slightly smile.
And as for you, she looks at Seth. Thank you. I do appreciate what you've done. But it's time for me to... It's... I need to do this.
Lead the way.
Not because of you, but because I know what I saw. And I quickly go to the outside and
There's
where the Kindred is.
there you can sense multiple. There's only one ghoul standing near him. But you can sense multiple Kindred watching.
I go to the one that is in charge and I bow my head and I say, "This is my fault. He's only been alive. We found him a couple days ago. This is all still new and I should have taught him better. I should have said something."
I agree with you. You definitely need to keep your child, or is adopted or not, in control. You know there's a masquerade afoot, right? You know that it's in place for a reason?
Yes, and that's my fault. And I would like to, for your mercy and benevolence, I would like to offer... I can heal vampires. I can offer something to you.
He shifts a little.
I can heal Kindred, and you don't have to wait a night.
You're pretty new, aren't you?
Yes. I've
His
only
eye-
been doing this for a month.
His eyebrows lift. And Seth actually shifts towards your side in a... Roll of wits and insight.
Interesting. All right. Oh, shit. All right. Wow, damn. That is a 6. Good lord.
He's basically telling you to stop being so honest. The way that this kindred has moved, you didn't pick up on it before, but you say I can heal supernatural. There's only one clan that can do that.
Well, guess... okay, so I will say, me as the player, be like, maybe if Seth had not lied to... had taught Aurora more, this wouldn't be a problem. But she stops. And she keeps it at that.
And he says, "Oh, I didn't mean any offense to your fellow. You didn't say what your names were." And Seth says, "I didn't offer a name, and neither did my mistress." And his eyes kind of flash in the dark. The other kindred gets this violent smile. This dark threat that just looms underneath the surface in that smile. "Yeah, right, of course. Of course. So... we're gonna need to know each other's names. Way to contact each other. Because I'm assuming you're offering some favors for your little pup's mishap. Which I'm fine to deal about, since anything a little more violent beyond roughing each other up is against the masquerade. And there are people about. We don't want them to know.
You can contact me through Theo.
Theo. You and that kid know each other, huh?
Perhaps. But if he says you're okay, you can contact me through him.
This isn't about whether or not I'm okay, darling. You're hunting on ground that's not yours.
He wasn't hunting, it was an accident. An oversight on my part.
I don't know. That looked pretty thought out to me. Being that this is not your territory, that bathroom didn't look like that. It looks like it was made to look like that.
I'm offering you my service in exchange for your mercy and benevolence in this case.
Yeah, of course, and I'd love to give it. I'd love to give you my mercy and my benevolence, but you see, the boss, he doesn't like interlopers.
And I think the boss would be very interested to know in what I could do.
I think he would be real interested in what.
And
you
wouldn't
do.
it be nice if you could introduce him? If you could be the one that provided this avenue.
Sure would. It sure would. But I would love to get your names and not have to go through such a low-ranking member. Theo? The errand boy? It's not a good look.
You bring him here?
Errand boy, not a problem. He's over there playing at the skate park. Since it's all kind of connected, you see. But the boss? Nah, you're gonna need to go prostrate yourself in front of him. Kindred tradition. You know how it goes.
I'm gonna do insight check on him. It's like, that sounds like... Oh, God. All right. Oh, I did not roll that well. That's a 2.
That's a wits and insight.
Yeah.
It's,
I got a 2.
It seems like he's not lying with a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then I'll go alone.
Seth stiffens when you say that, and Robbie's like, "You can't go alone. What do you mean?"
Let these two. Let them pass. And I can talk to your leader.
You got some balls on you, lady. And he kind of grins. Sure. I'll call in the boss to see if he wants to have a meeting with you, explaining the situation. Don't worry, the G-mans, because he doesn't want to say it too loud because there's people about, the ghouls, right? They're identifying and processing the scene. And that mortal, he'll be just fine.
If it's too much for your boss to meet me, I can talk over the phone with him. If it's too much of an inconvenience. I would not like to inconvenience your boss, who seems to be quite busy with managing his territory.
That's real polite of you. He'll appreciate that for sure. So why don't you just sit tight?
Can those two go?
I don't think they should leave the park. It's not a good look.
Another one of us might be coming here.
Oh,
Can
yeah?
at least have... Mm-hmm. We were supposed to meet up here to... We just wanted to ask some questions because there's been a lot of stuff going around.
Wow. Then it seems like you're really gonna want this meeting with the boss. And he hops off the picnic table that he was sitting on, and you're left with the ghoul and the feeling of being watched. And as soon as the robust Kindred is out of sight, Robbie, like, whispering underneath his breath and is like, you are not gonna go meet that guy alone. Are you kidding?
I will do what I need to protect you.
What about us protecting you? I'm the one who fucked up. I didn't mean to. I'm glad that guy's gonna live. I mean, if we can trust this guy, but fuck, we need to call fucking Damien now.
No. Damien has other really important things he has to do. If I can't... I need to be able to show that I can do this as well.
Yeah, aren't you supposed to both do it together? And I'm technically his responsibility?
He's trusting me. That or he's watching me by putting you here. I need to show that I can... that I'm not something to be walked on or to be licked at. And she says that with an edge. And she turns over to Set and she's like, I need you to pay attention and keep an eye out for Mori. I don't want her to do something foolish. She'll be here pretty soon. And I don't want her to get hurt either.
He nods.
And also, you didn't say you knew I could do this and you never said anything about it. This is what happens when you hide secrets.
There are no secrets.
Then why didn't you tell me before that what I could do was different?
Whatever do you mean?
And she looks at him, remembering all those many sessions ago, Chad, if you remember, where she healed Stone and he just never mentioned it ever again. He just said, interesting. And she gives him a look and she says, from Wendy, this is not the time or the place, but I think we need to talk about what you do and don't remember.
He's got this cast of an expression that's very neutral. As you wish.
But I'm going to handle this.
They trade in favors. Try not to offer too freely everything you have to offer.
If what I have to offer is as rare as seems to be, I'm sure they'll be very interested in what I have to say.
They might just take you for it. And then we'll have to save you.
You don't have to save me.
So you would rather rot?
I won't. They need me. And they're curious.
Not if they do to you. And he leans down. What you witnessed Damien do in the woods. They don't need you alive to take what they want from you.
Wouldn't that be a breach? Go against everything?
You offered to go alone to meet their boss.
I will.
You have no allies
to prove otherwise.
And then it's just me that gets hurt.
But your power, should they choose that route, is theirs.
Then what would you have me do? What would be your advice? To just cause a war, a battle?
Take us with you. If you wish to be
I'll-
diplomatic, myself, Robbie, and Mori, when they arrive, and you give away nothing unless you have an advantage. They are scheming and manipulative. The fact of the matter is, Aurora, the majority of Kindred are afraid to fight each other. They're afraid of final death. But you and I and Robbie are not afraid of that, which makes us better than them. It makes us more powerful, because the pain is our teacher. Most Kindred don't like pain.
Aurora nods because the truth of the matter is she does not fear death, especially when she was supposed to die anyway. And she says, I will take one of you. I do not want to take all of you.
He just nods.
So I'll either take Mori or I'll take you.
And that's about the point I think Mori would arrive.
Is Peggy in tow?
I think she was your ride, right?
Yeah,
So-
she wanted to go grab some weapons. So
You did do that. So I would already say that, but I have to change the music because Peggy's involved. Um, so as you start pulling up to this crazy skate park, wow, this is very sketchy. This is very. Do you know how many people we usually pick up here? Typically they're high. We'd have to get them into rehab of some kind and, detox them. And gosh, I've arrested I've only ever arrested 3 people, but one of them was here at this park, and it was for. He was
Question:
possession.
Do we see this? Do we see that she's arriving with Peggy?
She's driving around the park. I just don't see any of your friends. Are you sure you want me to drop you off here? Oh wait, you can be invisible. Never mind.
yeah, Mori
yeah,
just kind of smiles at that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can. I'd like you to be safe though. This doesn't look like a safe place. Can you, I don't know, go somewhere else?
Yeah, there's a hot dog place not too far from here. I'd stop by
Right.
and grab some of those.
Send me the address.
Yeah, it's
We'll
just
come
called
find you
Wiener
afterwards.
Witzel. It's my favorite. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, here you go. And she hands you a lunch bag. You never know when you might need food, okay? I know you do the thing that's not the thing that's eating now, but just in case, you don't know, okay? It's just, there's some jerky in there. I don't know. Here you go.
I appreciate it, but I can't eat that, Peggy. I'm sorry.
Just in case, it's good to have. Maybe not for
She
you, maybe
takes it.
someone else. And here's a gun.
I have plenty.
Oh,
And she kind of motions to the bag that she's carrying around. Yeah, and we got you a couple just in case.
yeah, I mean,
Don't use that on mortals.
of course.
Normies.
Yeah.
They'll light up in flame and they'll die.
The
Very
bleach,
painful.
the bleach-filled holy water, though, I think that's gonna really be my weapon of choice in the spray bottle. I think it's just,
Yeah, no, that's a good one.
yeah, I just think you guys are misunderstood. I don't think you're really evil. I think you need to be adopted. I think that's what's really going on here. Is you just need a forever home. So, all right, bye.
Right. Like, and then Mori looks both ways, see if anyone saw that. Kind of like, and then find somewhere like secretive and just turn invisible.
Okay, roll a dexterity and stealth. She's like beyond the park where she's pulled up and parked and has unlocked the door
God.
so you can get out. Yeah. And then she's just gonna drive away. and
dexterity
as
and
you're
stealth?
as you're like stealthing and leaving, she's like, yeah, monsters. I've read enough romance to know that they're probably just misunderstood and need affection, right? I mean, certainly, sure. Oh God, probably not. Oh my God. I need like 5 hot dogs. What'd you get?
All right, I rolled 7 successes.
Wow, you just vanish. And Peggy's like, oh my gosh. And she like looks around the car, closes the door, locks
Mori
it.
gets real close and just says,
Oh.
"Go, I'll be safe."
It's so cool how you do that. I want to do that. I want to do that more than anything.
Maybe later, not now.
Okay. And she'll,
Can I text Mori something?
you sure can, but at that point, Peggy will be like, okay, bye, be
Okay.
safe. I'm just
Okay.
going to be down the block. I'll come pick you up. Like she's dropping you off for school, almost.
Yeah, no, Mori, like, part of the reason she turned invisible is because if she was Blush of Life, she would be completely red.
And at that point, you get a message from Aurora.
Right?
What is that?
And she's gonna say, Aurora's gonna say, we're currently in hot water because Robbie almost killed someone. I'm taking care of it, but I need you to watch my back from the shadows.
Well, I guess with that, she's going to just blink around until she finds Aurora. I'll go ahead and roll a rouse for that. A 10 means success. All right, yep. You'll just get an OMW on my way.
And then she'll say they're gangrels, so they have heightened senses. Because she's going about what she has, so it's like they have a heightened sense of smell, possibly sight. So keep an eye and a distance. This could get ugly.
When Mori finds Aurora, she's going to go, even though she's invisible, she's going to be just as stealthy as she can.
So you're not gonna make your presence aware at all that when you show up?
Oh, I will. Like, if she's not, like, sitting in the bathroom with other people, I'll just, like, whisper in her ear. I'll protect you.
So Mori shows up, but she's completely unseen, Aurora. And it's you and Stone and Robbie who's pacing, and he's like, every instinct in me is telling me I gotta fucking call Damien. I don't know what to do. I'm freaking out.
And Aurora's gonna take Robbie's hands, and she's going to sit him down, and she's like, listen, I know this is all really new to you, and it's not your fault. We should have better explained that in this world there are rules, there are things that we need to be careful of. We're gonna get out of this.
Okay.
And she cups his face. She's like, it's gonna be okay.
Go ahead and roll a another leadership and charisma.
All right.
And then because you're
Where's the empathy roll?
because you're stunning, you can add 2 extra dice.
Yay. All right. Yeah, because what Aurora's trying to do is empathize and calm him down so he doesn't go into a panic frenzy. But also because she feels really bad. She's like, she didn't explain to him. Damien didn't explain to him. Like, he's so new to this. Oh, shit. Goddamn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's 6 successes.
Sorry, say that again.
That's 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Okay.
successes.
You do manage. He's not going to frenzy, panic. He's just normal stressed at this point and is quiet. You've assuaged his fears.
For now. And then she's gonna talk to Set and kind of like say, if things get bad, we'll be okay. I think that we have someone watching out for us. But I need to know how. I need you to tell me quick before as things get bad. Let me know, how do Baron's territories? I need to know about etiquette, like politics. What am I missing?
So you say that to Seth, and the politics shouldn't apply to us. But since you are curious.
And I get really close to him and whisper in his ear, and I say, we need to know the rules to break the rules. You think a snake or anything that lies in the grass lives because it stands out?
I am aware. And he equally leans in. And he explains that Kindreds, they're selfish, greedy creatures. He explains they'll do anything in a deal to get the upper hand, but they don't kill because of their masquerade, their tenets, unless you're unlucky and this is Anarch territory. In which case, Anarch territory is it's more unruly, it's a little more frontier justice. The traditions of the Camarilla, he explains, are rigid. He says at most you should offer a favor of a minor degree for this offense.
Would it be possible that if we offer a minor favor, yes, and if they like what they see, we can talk about future business?
He nods.
There is no Camarilla here. There is no one. Why don't we use that to our advantage?
If that is what you see fit.
And there is a look in Aurora's eye, and I'm going to message you, Void, for this.
Mm-hmm. He does say that Elysium is a Camarilla tradition. And Toreador, the clan, are very typically Camarilla.
And so we're dealing with Toreador right now. Okay.
No. He's saying where Damien's headed. So he's talking on a city scale. It's very likely there's some kindred that adhere to Camarilla.
Okay.
Even if the majority is Anarch.
All right, then let me see what you think about this then. Okay.
You'd have to explain it to me.
Would that be something? All right.
Like what she's thinking.
These whispers are brought to you by
Yeah.
VtM. Make
I don't
sure
type as fast as some people. I'm sorry.
you pay your local DMs for all the work they do.
No, it's more like city-states. So you're dealing with things like Sparta and their leader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing at a time. But don't they wish for bigger things?
I mean, everyone wishes for bigger things.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
So, but
That's
Seth's recommendation is no more than a minor favor.
okay.
You know, nothing like offering the use of any ghouls or any of the pack. None of that. Just a minor thing. Maybe like a delivery mission or something.
Would Okay, so question. Okay, and so that's my question. So is that too much of it? That's a big deal then. In this case, is what was hinted at.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a coveted.
Okay.
It's a coveted capability, but you've already laid it out there, and so the consequences are they'll be what they'll be because you already offered. So we'll see.
Okay. No, that's fine.
And of course, Seth, you know, his unreliable narration, you know, thinks that they're going to Diablerize you, but he's. Yeah.
Yeah, Aurora's like, that's why she's like, we need to talk about later what you do when you do it. Don't remember. You're an unreliable narrator.
It's okay. It makes it fun. So,
Yeah,
I
it
think
really does.
at that point, the robust Kindred is on his way back, but we're going to meanwhile, and we're going to slide over to Samiel and Azriel.
He, I believe, just stepped away.
He did, in fact, just message that right as you said that.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Where?
In New
Oh,
Blood.
I'm assuming he either went to the bathroom or somewhere else.
I see. I was not updated. It didn't update for
It was
me.
literally like within a minute of you saying it.
Oh.
Yeah, I just saw it too.
Okay, then
Whoopsies.
we're gonna take a very small toilet break, and then meanwhile, and then come back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And so we shift through the city to the rest of the pack. Azriel and Samiel. I believe this is moments after the line from Mia.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't heard the line, those of you at home listening, check back last session. Pretty good stuff.
It was very solid.
Damien, are you driving still?
Yes.
Okay, I would like you to roll a dexterity and drive, please.
Okay. It's not bad. It's 5 successes.
Where's Azriel sitting in the car? Is he in the front seat, back seat?
He's in the
I
front
believe.
seat.
I believe your truck is kind of like there is no like back seat to it. It's kind of just
It's
like
just one front
It's a
seat.
pickup, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a
it's-
pickup.
I just know that some pickups
it's
they
a-
have like a back seat. as
Oh
well.
yeah,
So
No,
this-
it's just one set of seats. It should be like 3 people can sit up front,
Okay.
and then it's just a flat bed in the back.
so is Mia in the middle?
I
Correct.
would assume so. Yeah.
Okay. Then Azriel, I need you to roll a wits and awareness since you're by the window.
Okay. Okay, that's a pretty good roll. 7 sucks.
So you are headed to the Elysium, if I'm correct, right?
figured we would hit his arms friend on the way back since he feels. I would imagine Elysium is more in the inner city where it's
Yes.
the dealer is
Do you
more
want to go
out,
to
so
Bella
it would-
first?
Yeah,
Okay.
I suppose we could just do it.
Okay. Then it just slightly shifts a tiny bit, but not by much. So, Azriel, as you're driving, and it's a smooth drive, right? It's smooth, it's back roads, it's hidden, no tail, no follow, etc., etc. Because it's Isabel's place. It's on the fringes of society, and it has the feeling of a botched. The building that she's in, it has a botched facelift feeling. It has a. There were attempted zhoosh experiences, like signs, vinyls, but still the roof is sagging. The squared structure seems to be tilted ever so slightly. And beyond that, there's an empty lot. And it's got part of a chain link fence, but part of the chain link is broken. And beyond that are the woods. And Azriel, there's something silver that flashes in the wood. You can't quite
Oh,
tell if it's metallic and reflective. It's something pale. Something wrong.
Damien, I think I saw something in the woods.
Can you be specific?
Something just unnatural. Something pale, silver.
Pale and silver.
Like a kindred, says Mia? Or like something else? Like a weapon?
I'm not entirely sure. I didn't get a good look.
Do you want me to check it out?
I can check it
I'll,
out.
Let Azriel handle it. We just need to grab what we need to grab, and we'll help him out if he needs anything.
Okay. You need backup, you just make a hand motion. I'll try to keep eyes on you, Az.
I appreciate it.
Always whistle.
Mia,
Tends to carry decently.
Mia nods. Yeah. Besides, what could your whistling summon that's gonna be scarier than any of you? She tries to make a dark humor joke, you know, hunter joke.
Azrael just kind of frowns.
Zero's like, she should not have fucking said that. That is terrible. That was a terrible joke.
That was pretty good. Fuck you.
She's talking about cryptids from the Appalachians and whistling at night and fucking the poor guy. Look at him. Damien, look at Azriel. He looks like he's been washed up in Castaway when was supposed to be Hanks's double, but instead, he's fucking Wilson.
You know, I was gonna mention Wilson, but you beat me to it.
The man is a broken man, Damien. She shouldn't be making those kind of jokes. And Mia, like, cringes a little. Sorry, Azriel, I'm just saying you're tougher than anything out there.
It's whatever. I'll go ahead and step out, look for whatever this could be.
We head towards the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me one more wits and awareness, and you can use heightened senses if you have it.
Don't have it. Can I blood surge my wits? Though?
Yeah, I can't really think of a reason right now why you wouldn't be able
Just because I
to.
want to try to find it a little bit better.
Yeah, sure.
Let's see if I get a little more hungry. Nope, I'm actually okay. That'll give me 2 extra dice. Holy moly. That's even better. That's a crit for 8.
Oh. Okay. So you get to the tree line, you crest the sentinels into the dark, and there's this gauzy silver shawl. And it's caught in the low branches of an evergreen. The wind lifts it and twists it, and it flashes silver.
I'll go up and examine it a little closer.
With your wits and awareness, there's a scent to it that's a little unnerving. It's uncomfortable. Like another predator, but not your breed.
I'm gonna see if I can kind of follow this scent with me catching this off it.
Okay, it's just going to be a survival roll. Pretty low DC.
What do you want me to
but
add to?
Just intelligence, I
survival?
think. Or
Okay.
yeah, and then you're for your tier, add your extra dice, and since your blood is roused, you can add another extra dice.
That is 4 sucks with a crit. Just a crit.
The scent carries with it a secondary scent, but the secondary scent smells like adrenaline, fear, and panic. It's got this citrus scent. How far do you follow the scent? I guess is a better, because it does take you so far into the woods that you lose sight of the arms dealer's square blocked building.
Damien has stuff to take care of on his own. I can go in as far as I need to while making sure this area is secure.
Okay. You get onto a hiking trail, and there's like a tiny creek nearby, just a trickle of water, and you pass it with ease, and the hiking trail opens up to kind of a location where people would like park bikes or like set up tents. And just beyond that, there's a little glade, very small. I mean, it hardly could be called a glade, maybe a quarter or so. But there's branches here that have been broken, leaves that have been disturbed, dirt that's been thrown around, trees that have been clawed. There are several younger trees that have been completely demolished, broken. It is saturated in the remnants of violence. And you find another piece in this quarter of a glade of the silver shawl.
I'm even more intrigued going further in.
Roll an investigation and intelligence.
Do I still get a bonus dice because I have my blood roast?
Mm-hmm.
That is 5 sucks.
A woman wearing a silver shawl was recently killed. But not so recent that there's still obvious bloodstains. You actually find yourself a good 20 minutes hike from the arms dealers square building, where you find a shallow grave. It's been freshly, maybe within the last 2-3 hours, dug.
What condition is the corpse in?
Do you dig the grave?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So you're another few minutes doing that.
Mm-hmm.
She's missing her head. And her chest has been wired shut. You can see where the skin has been pierced and bitten. Looks like she was attacked by a wild dog that then somehow she was baling wire and duct taped back together before being put in the ground. Roll an intelligence and medicine if you examine the corpse further.
Oh well. That is another 4 sucks.
Both of her legs and her head have been taken. Several of her major organs have been taken. This was a purposeful kill, and you recognize that ingredients were probably taken from a unwilling, living mortal.
I'm gonna take a photo on my phone just so I can show it to the pack. And I'll return the corpse and refill it to as close as I can to make it look like nobody was here.
Okay, I just want you to roll dexterity and subterfuge.
The dexterity, you say?
Yeah.
That's 1 suck.
Okay, I mean, it was a shallow grave anyways, so...
I'll mess it up a little bit, just make it look like maybe other animals went over it or something.
Okay. When you get up and turn, just one more potentially narrative wits and awareness.
Is my blood surge still active for this one?
No. No, for this one, just flat. No extra dice beyond the tier dice.
Good news, I rolled real well. Crit for 7.
Okay, in the distance, there is a singular 4-pronged claw mark. Purposeful by the looks of it. You barely make it out. It isn't deep enough to show the pale bark or the pale flesh underneath the dark bark of the tree. It's enough that you can see the grooves. That's it. Something has marked this location to come back later.
I kind of want to do something. I'm gonna use my Aura of Decay as I leave. And I just want to ruin the marked location for whatever marked the location.
How do you mean?
It's one of my powers.
Okay, go ahead and share it in. Oh, thank you. So I can read that. Perfect. Go ahead and read it out loud for chat. I know it's kind of a lot, but just read the description.
You want the description?
Just the description.
Kindred with a strong connection to oblivion can affect the world around them, making plants wilt, animals, and humans grow sick. Food to go bad. Some harness this aura as a power, polluting vitality and with rot, and spreading erosion of life. The power does not speed up the decay of dead things, though.
Okay. So go ahead and roll a stamina and oblivion. So it's almost like Azriel's like kind of leaving a calling card. Is that like the vibe I'm getting?
I'm trying to ruin whatever like they saved here as well. Like if there's something important about both like the corpse under in the ground, any of the plants, it's just everything is just obliterated in
Okay.
that kind of sense.
Got you.
But it could also be a calling card, I guess. That is 9 sucks.
Nine sucks. Damn, wow. So yards. All 5 yards. Just. Which is about. Yeah. Trees wilt. They twist, blacken, and die. The ground beneath you gets this kind of hot feeling. Like fetid trash in a landfill on a very hot July day. There's almost a humid moisture. You watch as like mold suddenly grows up the sides of several tree trunks, and then some mold drops with the leaves that suddenly fall, and it hits with a wet, spongy splatter into the moist earth. It's horrible. And there's something. You rolled so high with your wits and awareness. There's something else as you use this power. There's a presence, but it isn't like something in the glade with you. It's like the earth and sky itself bear a wretched hatred for you. In this moment, there is a subtle prick of magic, Azriel. Not oblivion, probably the antithesis of such. And it sees you. And it knows you.
I'll slowly make my way back.
It's difficult to make your way back. In fact, it feels like the hiking trail is no longer there. That trickle of a stream is more potent and faster. Large boulders that you're certain weren't there before are now blocking your path. And at one point, a murder of crow, though they are curious and indigenous species to the area, they don't typically fly out in front of someone, causing them to jump back, but they do you, startling you from the treetops before disappearing off into the night. And that pinprick of a feeling grows with each step you take. To get out of the woods, I would like you to roll a survival and an intelligence.
So that's just all blank.
Okay, we're gonna meanwhile there as you get lost. Damien. This is just for my sake, for narrative. Wits and awareness, please.
Oh, the thing I'm absolutely atrocious at. Which I'm pretty sure you love it. Not in a malicious way. The changeling dice come through. That is a crit and 2 successes of 6.
Okay. All right, let me just make a note. Okay. Even as you shoulder open the door and it like lets out a little like ding 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 ding, and you hear Isabel. No, you hear her. I'll be with you in a sec. There's another presence in here. The voice has this feminine, lilting accent. And with 6, Damien, you're immediately, maybe not, you're attracted to the voice, but not necessarily in a romantic or sexual way. It's more familiar curiosity. With a 6, this voice feels like stable footing amongst the hurricane of decisions and emotions that is your existence right now.
He's just gonna kind of mosey on in.
Okay, I see that you wrote
And,
your blush of
he's-
life is active.
Correct. Yeah, I remembered.
Yeah.
Is she like in immediate view, or is this like going into like the entrance hallway towards like the operations area of the facility?
Yeah, the accented woman is in operations area, which Isabel doesn't usually let anybody back there because supposedly this is also like a kind of like a hardware store as well, you know, and like that's the front. So, yeah, you assume this is one of Isabel's contacts, but there's a nagging feeling, like it's like a someone tickling the back of your mind, your actual brain with a fucking feather. You know this voice. You know it very well, actually.
Like he's probably just like in the back of his head just has like this nagging feeling of like, I think people always have like, where the hell is this voice from? Like I've heard it before, but I don't remember where. And he's just gonna reach his arm out to Mia as like to kind of just beckon her to continue inward into the building towards Mia's counter. I mean, he's been behind the case, so it's whatever. Like he's pretty much has free reign.
She does squeeze your hand. She got only a 3 on her insight. Can she read anything from your expression about how you might be feeling?
Give her an extra 2 dice at least due to blood empathy.
Ooh. I'll re-roll those. Do you want me to re-roll it like a willpower? Or should re-roll
No, just additional dice.
Just re-roll the 2 dice. Okay. Nice. Okay. So that is 5. She got 5 successes.
What she would get was probably a sense of genuine confusion and frustration, but not like anger, but like the kind of frustration you have when you just can't remember something. So it could be misconstrued as like he's just upset, or upset at least.
Are you okay? She says quickly under her breath.
Yeah, it's just I just can't remember. It's just like I can't push past this fog, this feeling in my head, and I can't remember.
It'll come to you. It'll. She's like, you can see that her brain is working, and the hunter side of her. Maybe you have to wrangle the part of you that's not you, and force it to yield its secrets. I don't know what that looks like for your kind. Whatever you need, I'm here.
He's just gonna nod approvingly at the words of assurance. Right. No, it makes sense. Well, yeah, let's just grab what we need to go and grab Azriel so we can get to Elysium. It'll be all right.
The exchange at the back of the building sounds like it's dried up, and Isabel makes an appearance down that long hallway, and she grins and says, "Hey, come on back."
All right. Yeah, not a problem. You have like company with you today?
Just another buyer. She's taken a look at some of the incendiaries, so, you know.
That's an odd choice. He'll step behind the counter and he'll just look at the other person that's there.
You see a flash of a blonde bob, sunglasses, and bare arms that are incredibly built. The woman is maybe 5'10", 6 foot. She's got these black boots on that go all the way up to her ass. They give her a couple more inches so she's of eye level with you. And there's something about her. Your body responds. You know this woman. And she's stepping away from you down some of the aisles where Isabel has things in display cases. And the feeling to follow after her into this part of the shop is incredibly potent.
Make a roll, see if I do it. I guess he's following.
Okay. Isabel, you do hear her call you. She's like, "Hey," and you mutter something under your breath, like your feet aren't your own, and you follow this blonde woman into the back of the shop, and she's standing in front of this old display case that's got some early World War I, World War II era weapons that are displayed, and you know, they were family crafted. The woman is looking at them. and her bare arms, and in gloves. They're sleek and tight, and she is quite fit. You think she could wrestle you? She's fit in the way that, like, Mia looks delicate, and Mia is a tall, athletic woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
This woman looks like she goes into the woods to fight bears for fun. She looks like she can lift a lumberjack and bench press him, but there's still something undeniably, lethally feminine.
I have always been a fan of old weapons. But there isn't really anything quite so satisfying as a sword or claw.
What do you think? And she's wearing sunglasses and she turns to speak to you.
He'll approach and kind of stand side by side. I mean, I guess for the most part that it's yeah, there's something about older weaponry that was more intimate, you know, back in the day. Now it's not even hand-to-hand combat, or it's just a gun pointed at someone. Not even a bare fist or a knife or a sword, just pull the trigger, see who wins.
And you know what is so fun about that?
So many people think a gun is going to save them. But it is not. It is intention. You see, I remember a shiv of rock carried with the intention to kill is more dangerous than a gun with intentions for peace. That is the way of the world.
And
Yeah,
you see that
it's,
she's got like so it's a sleeveless turtleneck that she has on. And standing next to her as she's like looking at these weapons and touching the glass case with her gloves. And then, you know, she picks up a piece of the bayonet, like when she opens the glass case and is talking to you. You see that she's got these very light gray, intricate, spiraling tattoos in her forearms and up her underarms. And they looks like they disappear across her chest. And you instinctually know, Damien, that her breasts and her nipples are tattooed, and you don't know how you know that. It is shocking in that moment.
Have we met before? I swear to God, I've heard your voice somewhere. It's just, I don't know. It's like there's just a giant fog. You're both foreign yet somehow familiar.
When she turns to look at you, she is directly eye level with you in those boots. But you know that she really is that tall. Like, she's...
Let me ask you a question that maybe you can ask yourself. And then you can tell me if we know each other. Do you like to dance?
And behind the sunglasses, her eyes flash white.
I think I'm going to take this one.
And she lifts the old bayonet between the two of you.
I like it.
She turns. And she heads towards the counter.
He's just gonna say as she walks away, just audibly, not like under his breath or anything. It's like, I mean, who doesn't like to dance?
Dancing is like a spiral. But it's always more fun with a little chaos. My name is Agatha.
And like for the moment, like it slips, and it just says, Damien, yeah. Damien.
I like that name. It holds a bit of darkness in it.
And Mia comes around the corner, and they almost collide, but the woman just like sidesteps and twists. And Mia, sorry, And the woman kind of gets this frown, looking down her nose at Mia. And then back to you. She smiles. A little nod. And then to Mia, I like the way you braid your hair. Which Mia immediately is like, reaches up and like pulls the braid forward. And it's one of the like fishtail kind of braids. There's something about this woman that immediately makes Mia uncomfortable, and you can see it. But Damien, your eyes never leave Agatha. She makes her way to the counter. She makes her purchase. It looks like she's got a couple ammo boxes. There's a duffel bag filled with things, and she adds the old bayonet on top. I need you to roll a composure and resolve.
Saw that one coming. Right, so that is 5 successes, but with one bestial. So that negates one.
You get a memory. It flashes through your mind. She showed you how to hunt. You know it vitrally. In your new form, she ran with you. Not death. Sacrifice. What do? As Agatha begins to leave the shop, Mia steps up kind of into your space, searching your eyes. She can tell that something's off. And you feel like you are standing at the precipice of a decision. You feel like this meeting, this moment, is a test.
I have to ask her a question. I have to ask her a question. I'm sorry. I have to know. There's something that about this fucking woman.
Damien, she doesn't feel right. And she reaches for your hand.
Gonna take her hand.
Okay. Agatha's, you can hear her headed down the long hallway for the exit. You know that once she hits that parking lot, you might not get your chance. And Mia's like, Damien, there's something weird about that woman, I'm telling you. I can't place it.
I understand it's weird, but if I don't ask this question now, I will never know what happened. You have to trust me.
Okay. She lets go
He's
of your
gonna
hand.
break into a run.
Okay. As you cut across, Isabel's like, Damien, whoa, hey, what's your hurry? But you don't stop for her. You keep going. You bust out into the parking lot, into the night. Your eyes scanning the darkness for that blonde bob. And we meanwhile, for just a moment. Azriel, you messaged me saying you wanted to retcon something.
Yeah, there's one new power I forgot that I had that I would like to use before I had destroyed the corpse and everything.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and share that one.
And then go ahead and read the description for the folks at home.
A binding fetter. The vampire can identify objects or locations of import to Ghost. These fetters act as icons that bind the dead in their existence. A fetter might be an object, a building, or even a person. Knowing if an object is a fetter allows the necromancer to better manipulate ghosts. Fetters emanate variable auras, some bursting with vitality and glowing gold, while others radiating decay or odors important to the bound wraith, such as a smell of freshly baked bread, gasoline, or cigarette smoke. I want to see if there's one of these on with the corpse.
Okay, roll Wits and Oblivion.
Five sucks.
It does not feel like there is a fetter or any lingering wraith on this corpse.
Okay, I just wanted to double check that. That was my one retcon, thank you.
No problem. And so we slip back to Damien. Azriel is... You can feel his presence, and you know that something is instinctually wrong when you get out into the parking lot, because when you look over to where Azriel disappeared into the woods, you see a ephemeral image of like a woodsman, right? And you instinctually know, Damien, that woodsman, that spirit in these woods, haha, the woodsman in the woods, is hunting Azriel. And then sitting on the tailgate of Azriel's truck, cigarette in hand, not yet lit though, is Agatha, as if she was waiting for you.
What the hell are you?
I can be your ally or your enemy.
How come I remember you, but I remember nothing else? Nothing at all.
You consented to the trials. This is just a part of it.
Don't remember any of it.
I'm not surprised. The eyebrows lift over the sunglasses. Your friend is being hunted. If he really is your friend. I'm curious if you're going to try to save him or not. It's quite telling what people do with their choices.
Feel if I go and help him, I lose all my answers from you.
Oh. And this time she actually lights the cigarette An old lighter. Very old lighter. Like, the thing flashes gold, it's dented. It's one of the old, like, it takes lighter fluid. You know? Her face, it lights it up for a moment, and she inhales on the smoke, and it doesn't smell like a regular cigarette. It's this incredible, like, herbal mint, almost overwhelming scent. And when she exhales, she O's her mouth, so this ring.
It's all a circle. All of it connected.
You know who I am, don't you?
She nods with a smile.
Indeed. I know exactly who and what you are, Damien.
You know where I came from.
She nods.
The thing in the cave, really. I came from that.
She nods.
I still don't remember everything. It's like each individual puzzle is given, but there's still a missing piece.
It's all about your choices, your decisions in the end.
Have you been watching me?
Ever since you crawled up out of the ground,
This whole time?
you've done very, very well.
Why have you never shown yourself till now?
Because now you're finally ready.
Ready for what?
She hops off the tailgate. And she walks towards you in a way that is incredibly predatory, and then slowly moves around you. She's not close enough, she's in striking distance
To make some choices.
If I make the choice to see help my friend, will I see you again? Or will you just be watching from the shadows?
There is a balance you have to remember. And when you do, you'll be able to find me again.
Always riddles, never straightforward.
It is very straightforward.
I'll take that into consideration. I'm gonna go help him before he gets his head chopped off.
She steps back. You agreed to the tenants.
I walk in the light of the Lilith. I've agreed to many tenets. I am Spot.
But you were something before that. You have a destiny, if you wish to claim it.
I wouldn't know how to go about claiming it if I even tried.
You will remember. All you have to do is open your eyes.
Open my eyes.
The spiral waits.
We'll talk again. I guarantee it.
Gonna start running off towards the woods, towards the Azriel.
Okay. Roll a dexterity and survival.
Well, I think unlike Azriel, I actually have some dots and some of that. I do. All right, it's modest 3.
Okay. As you deviate from Agatha and you rush for the woods, you hear this howl. It's chilling. It's a singular note. And then I need you to roll composure and resolve.
All right. Right, and 2 sucks. So 6.
You have another memory, but it's more abstract than that. You were in a cave. There were drawings on the cave. Agatha was explaining them. And this presence manifested. And Agatha was pleased about it and was very... She looked at you with a pride. And the rest of it is faintly lost. But you remember the lesson was about a balance. Not necessarily balance in terms of catastrophic events, but that some catastrophic events are a way of balance. A dance. And there's a couple of phrases that come to mind. White howlers, the worm, Gaia, the weaver. There's another that comes to mind as you crest the woods and you're rushing through. The Impergium. They're all things you feel you should know. And then there's something that, a set of words that you think, and you can imagine the words, but they summon a place. And it's a place that is deep and dark and foreboding. You think that it is hell is the best way to describe it. A dark umbra. And maybe an evil revelation. A labyrinth. You break into a small clearing where there's a rushing river. It doesn't look like it should be this size, but the water is just a roiling riptide. Several trees are felled, and Azriel is... The way he moves is unnatural in and of itself, that he's a kindred with smaller humanity, but the way that he's moving now is like someone whose mind is not seeing what's actually before him. But you do find him in the woods, about 25 minutes from the Isabel's complex. But he doesn't seem to be aware of you or seeing what you're seeing on this hiking trail. What do you do?
Like from the distance, is he like standing there? Or is he like moving?
Very
Like, visibly?
slowly, very slowly.
Is it like kind of like a trance-like state?
It does seem like that, yeah.
He's going to go up to Azriel and just kind of begin to shake him like, hey, where the fuck are you? Wake up.
Roll charisma and leadership. And then Azriel, I need you to roll a wits and composure, please.
I rolled mediocre. That's 2 sucks.
Okay, and then what'd you get on that roll, Damien?
Okay. So I got 6, but bestial again, so negates it down to 5.
Okay, just your words alone are not shaking him out of it. He's manages to give you like a bit of a groan in response with his 2 successes. Azriel, you're aware that Damien is calling for you. You are not aware that he's right in front of you. For you, Azriel, it feels like Damien is calling you from a distance. Like he's looking for you in the woods.
I'm gonna run to my friend.
Okay. Roll intelligence and survival.
Oh, intelligence.
Yep.
So I pulled out the mighty crit, the messy crit, but it's still a crit for 4 sucks.
Okay. His body like jerks away from you, Damien, and he stumbles a bit, but he speaks clearly. But so you can roleplay with each other, but just so you know, Azriel, for you, it seems like you're yelling
out
through the forest, and then Damien, it's like he's not seeing you. So if you'd like to roleplay out, you can. You roll high enough.
Damien, I think I upset some sort of spirits. Where are you?
Can I hear him?
You can, yeah. He's talking, but it's like the way he's talking, it's like he's drugged, is what it seems like.
I see you, but I don't see you. It's like you're a husk just standing here in front of me. What did you do?
I came across a corpse. Somebody harvested parts from it.
All right, that's creepy.
We left it for later, so I destroyed the everything.
Can I look around with my auspex and see if I could see like this any sort of like spectral spirit or ghost or what have you, something that's hidden from my normal eyes?
Do you have Sense the Unseen?
I do have sense the unseen.
Okay, roll it with your Wits and Occult.
Wits and occult. That's a better roll. Since we're trying to get Azriel back, we're gonna rouse the blood. Boy, definitely gotta feed on some at some point. Give me 3 more dice. Six. I got 6 on that.
Okay. There is a spirit, and it looks like the woodsman. And he's got a big axe, but his face is that of a lion.
He's going to like cautiously approach the spirit. And he's gonna say to it,
I don't know if you can understand me, but I can see you, and if you could see me, we can talk. So let's work something out.
The woodsman grips the axe tighter, the lion face kind of snarling up, and in an ephemeral voice,
No talking. Only death to the worm.
Listen, I don't know what the worm is. I don't know what that is, all right? I just know I need to take my friend back, and if you have my friend, I need to take him.
you hear this fluttering of leathern wings, and an ephemeral, massive bat appears not too far from Azriel. And its voice has got this kind of sickly lilt to it. It's, to you, Damien, it says,
Don't deal with the lion. Deal with me.
And who the hell are you?
I am Bat.
and the lion, like, roars. And you can smell its rotten breath. But it isn't entirely unpleasant rotten breath. It's like natural foliage in the decay during the autumn time.
Okay.
And you feel like this is a pretty significant choice.
If you seem less belligerent than him, what's your offer?
I'll give you your friend back. And all you have to
Okay.
do is sacrifice in the woods the next time you do.
And the lion roars and hisses, and then is going to try and swing the axe at you.
Apples?
What? What?
No, nothing. My audio cut out for a second. Sorry.
You cut out on my end too.
Oh, the lion swinging the axe, and the bat And you think it's because the bats, so the next time that you hunt, leave the body in the woods for me. So yeah,
That-
lion's coming to chop you.
that's-
So what do you do?
Out of curiosity, could I hear the whole conversation between them?
It sounds like really kind of far away, so you'd have to roll wits and awareness to hear it. Because remember, for you, Damien's like screaming for you, like
Yeah.
Azriel, where are you? You know. Yeah.
If I hear this conversation, it might make me try to try something. That's only 5 sucks.
Yeah, you can hear it. You can kind of make it out. Enough to follow the conversation with 5. That's very good. Yes.
Tell whoever you're talking to I can do worse to the forest if they don't let me go.
Oh no. Oh no. Lion, just kidding, is no longer going to attack you. Damien is going to go try and kill Azriel, so.
Oh no.
Okay.
Went straight to intimidation.
Did I hear that?
Oh yeah, yeah. And Azriel.
I don't think you want to do that, pal. There's some pretty angry shit out here.
Yeah, so Azriel is actually like, I don't really know if there's a way he can defend against this. Oh, he kind of can with his Oblivion, but yeah, it's this. Anyways, okay. Gosh, spirit combat, nuts. It's crazy. This is a part of VtM.
I guess in just like the heat of the moment, since like everything just seems to be fine. Fine, a body, whatever. I don't care. Just get my friend back. Fuck.
Okay. So Bat giggles, and it's like it just sounds like the chittering of the echolocation that bats do. It doesn't actually sound like a chuckle at all. And Azriel, I need you to roll a dexterity and brawl. Because the spirit of the lion is going to try to hurt you regardless.
It's brawling with me. Okay. Can I use my claws?
Will
they even matter?
I don't think so. I'm looking at your sheet. You can't see this thing, so you.
Would the binding fetters actually let me see it?
These woods are important. No. Essentially, it's going to hit you, and your strength and brawl is to wrestle your way out from under its grip and or even attempt to fight back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to use one of my willpower just because I want to do well on this.
Okay.
Okay, well, the willpower made me do amazing. It's probably as best as I can possibly do. I got 9 thucks.
Okay. So it only beat you by 1, so you'll take 1 point of aggravated willpower damage, but you managed to wrestle it off, and as you're shooting up to your feet to go attack this spirit again, and it is rage personified. This lion is screaming and snarling. The human-like body is chopping at you with the axe, even while it's biting. There's the echolocation sound of 1,000 bats, and you're swept up in the spirit of their embrace. And when you come to, the glade just off the hiking trail, the creek is back to a trickle, and the woods are silent. And Damien, you feel the spirit bond with you in a very similar to your Vitae, but far more spiritual, if you even have a soul.
Why is this similar to Cupola? Oh, the eldest would be so proud of me right now. Like the out of character individual knowing what this means. I'm just gonna start shaking his body again now that the
Okay. Azriel, you come to. You're jettisoned. Your soul is jettisoned back. Well, your consciousness back into your body. You're no longer somewhere in the woods with spirits trying to kill you.
I'll, Damien's got me by the shoulders
Yes.
and is shaking me.
Yes.
I'll take him by the shoulders, like in response. It seems I need to thank you.
Jesus. I don't know what I just did to save our asses, but I don't know if it's good or bad. But we'll deal with that later.
I uncovered something you should probably know about. I'll pull out my phone, show him the picture I took of the body.
It's pretty gross, Damien.
I can
Send
tell
that to
they're
my
harvesting the parts for some sort of magical purpose.
A ritual.
I upset the spirit, I think, when I destroyed what was left, and the surrounding area was caught in the effect. And I'll send the picture to you.
All right, well. Great. Apparently we can anger spirits. That's a thing. Each night is a new level of hell that we discover.
It is.
You hear footsteps. And then you hear another set of footsteps approaching you. And we're going to, meanwhile, right there, take a small BRB, and then we're going to head back over to Aurora and Mori.
Woo!
Thanks for saving me, Bill.
listen.
Okay. We return. And we, meanwhile, just after Damien and Azriel heard two sets of footsteps approaching them in the woods. We meanwhile over to Mori and Aurora. The robust Kindred has returned, approaching your group on steadfast limbs. The boss is ready to see you. By the way, the name's Joni.
Can I insight check him to make sure he's telling the truth? Okay. Well then. Okay, so that's gonna be insight and intelligence. Oh my god. Well, that wasn't good. That was a 3.
That's all you get.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what'd you get? I'm so sorry.
No, that's a 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Only a 3. That's actually good, but yes. Okay. So in the nature of Kindred, they are kind of liars in general, right? You don't think he's lying about your name, his name, Joni. But you do get the feeling that with a 3, he's absolutely going to swindle you in any way possible.
Then she says, she'll say lead the way.
Okay. He takes you to a bus station not far from there.
And at the sign and the bench is Theo.
Oh. Okay. And Aurora definitely looks like, God. All right, I have to do something for her. She looks concerned. Does she? Does? Are we approaching Theo?
Yes, yeah. Theo looks like he's been gathered as well. Like, I'll use your 3 insight. He looks like he's in trouble.
Shit.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, she just looks at him apologetically. She doesn't say anything because she's worried that if she says any more right now, yeah, it really does feel like the principal's office. And she's like, actually, she will say, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. You okay?
I don't know. Sorry. Sorry for dragging you into this.
No, it's all right. You belong with people of your own kind, you know? I just didn't want to. I don't know. There's a way all this is done, and he
Yeah,
shrugs.
I was gonna ask you about that.
I didn't. I thought it was fine. I just, yeah.
No, it's fine. I was coming here to ask you about some of this, but I guess we'll find out.
He like holds out his pinky. Together.
She looks at him like kind of smiles and like grabs his pinky too.
You know, who knows what could happen? Might as well try and have a little pep to your step before the end if this works, really bad. If it works out shit, you know.
Well, I will say I'm glad I met you, if this is the end.
The bus arrives. It is a ghoul that is driving. Theo whispers to you, same. And you, Theo, Joni, and an unseen Mori climb onto the double-decker bus.
So is Stone also, is he not allowed?
It depends on if you wanted him and Robbie to go.
If things get dicey, it's better if we're all there.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Yeah, she would have been like side and to kind of also give Robbie peace of mind, just be like, come on.
Now, Robbie has messaged Damien at this point, and he has said, checking in, we got into a little trouble, but we're handling it. Just so you know. So, Damien, you're aware that you have a message. The bus is filled with just normal people.
That kind of brings Aurora some comfort.
But the driver
It makes her feel normal.
is absolutely a ghoul. Yep. And it's like the really late night crowds. There's actually not a lot of people, but the majority of them are just regular people. Regular kind and mortals. The bus takes you some distance from the park. Fairly downtown. It's like a 30, 40-minute drive.
Shit. I guess in this case, she would just ask Theo, and so she's like, so, how long have you been, well...
Like a year.
A month.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Did it catch you off guard?
Yeah. Yeah.
Me too. And she squeezes his, like, she just takes a hand and squeezes it just to try to give him some comfort, and looks at Robbie and does the same thing.
Robbie's texting. Yeah.
She just lets him text, and then she kind of like she would do that to Mori, but she kind of just leans back in a sense that to see if she can, like, and trying to looks around to see where everybody is on the bus.
If Mori notices that, she kind of just touches your hand.
Yeah, she would definitely
I
give
think
you
it's,
like
yeah,
your
probably very obvious that Aurora's looking around like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she just gives you her hand to squeeze. Because I just
Yeah.
read the ability. As long as I don't make sound, I'm hidden. I'm good.
All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, she would definitely squeeze back and then like check on Stone to see where he's at too.
He's standing next to Joni. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's very clear that he's like doing it for the intimidation factor because Joni is sweating. Even though he can't actually sweat as a kindred, he's
Yeah.
yeah.
To that,
Seth is
Aurora-
like, I'm the guard dog and I don't
Oh.
care about the masquerade and will put you in a dumpster. You know, like that's the aura.
By the way, Aurora is gonna send him like a smile of approval. Like she's like, yeah, intimidate him. Fuck that dude. She's pleased. I don't know if there's any way to convey that, but she's really happy that Stone's like there and like keeping an eye. But yeah. And Aurora goes to see, is Robbie still texting?
Yes.
Yeah, and she'd be like, hey, you okay?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Roll a wits and awareness.
okay. Da, 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 da. Let's see. That is these dice right here. And these dice right here. Plus this one. Cool. All right. Okay, that's a 3.
So the last I'm typing these messages and Villain and I will role play them out. But this last message, you actually see that he's half typed it, but it starts with Robbie messaging, you know, hey, oops, I think we're in trouble, and then Damien to Robbie. Go ahead and role play it out, Bill.
What was the message that I sent? What do you mean by trouble?
I almost really hurt someone, and now we are going to see the boss of the territory.
What do you mean exactly, boss? Isn't a territory boss? The fuck?
I tried to get Wendy's, and then I couldn't, and I was dizzy and hungry, and there was so much emoji of blood. And I freaked out, and Aurora's going to go into this guy named Joni. I don't know, Damien, I fucked up. I think it's bad. I got a bad feeling. I'm sorry. I don't know what's happening.
I look at Robbie.
And then the last part that he types out is, we're on a bus. Like, that's super helpful.
I'm just watching Robbie.
Like a kid caught, he kind of realizes that you can see his screen, you know, like you're a parent, right? And he's like,
I didn't tell him to come. I'm
He's gonna come.
freaking out. I don't know.
And you can see, Aurora, he wants comfort. Like, and his dad figure
Is he standing?
is
Is he standing?
no,
or
he's like sitting and his knees are together. Like he's trying to make himself as
is
small
there
as
anyone next to
possible.
him?
No.
I sit next to him and I grab his hand and I tell him, trust me.
I do.
Or if you don't, at least
I do trust you.
believe.
I do. I just.
I know. It's okay. It's okay. And she kind of like a I don't, how can I put this, like, just holds his hand.
Okay. You just get the feeling like Damien is like in the dad position for him. And so, you know, he's just trying to feel correct inside his heart. And he's not going to until he forgives himself.
And that's why
So,
yeah, and that's why Aurora doesn't like correct him or get mad at him. She's just trying to be there.
you can tell that Seth notices what you're doing and is upset that you're being so soft on him, but he doesn't say anything because he's already doing something with Johnny.
Well, trust me, Aurora already knows that Damien is about to fucking get all up in his.
Robbie's phone goes off. And
I look at him.
he does show you the message from Damien, and this message reads, go ahead, Bill. Okay, Bill, go ahead and read your text messages for everybody at home. Now that you've just sent that second one.
Yeah, absolutely read it.
Vil, you are muted.
I am muted. Thank you.
Listen, just tell me what the place looks like when you get there. It's fine, we'll talk. Not mad, but I need to know where you are, or else I cannot come and help with Az and Mia. If push comes to shove, we burn the bitch down. We're immune to fire shit.
And I look at Robbie and I say, what happens when you light a beacon? Do you know Lord of the Rings?
Gondor calls for aid, and Rohan answers.
And then everybody knows. So what happens when at night you light something, a flame? What do moths come to?
Light.
And what happens to the moth when they touch fire?
They die.
Do you think we need to bring more heat to our situation?
I don't know. It just feels
Let
like
me ask you.
I'm lying if I don't tell him what's going on, and I just...
It's okay. It's okay. I'm not stopping you. I'm letting you know that actions have consequences. And just because you can barge down a door I don't believe that you should always knock it down.
I just feel like shit.
I know. And trust me, Damien is probably gonna scold you. He's gonna get so mad at you. And if he doesn't, then I'll step up to that plate. Because what you did was wrong. But are you sorry about it?
He nods.
I didn't mean to hurt anybody.
Then I want you to remember that feeling.
I just don't know why I was so hungry. I don't understand.
The truth is that when we become like this, we become like animals. When we're hungry, we do what we need to survive.
You can tell that he's like starting to like cry, which he can't because there's normal people on the bus and like blood, you know, in his eyeballs. Like it just... And then all at once he just like curls into you. He's pretty big for, you know, his age, but he curls into you and like hugs you and uses your hair to hide his face because he is crying. And he just keeps saying, I'm sorry. And God, he's such a kid.
Yeah, and she kind of just remembers what her dad, when she would cry and get picked on, or something bad would happen at school, or like they would cut her hair, put gum, like what her dad, that comfort that her dad would give her. And she's like, listen, I let this be a teaching moment that this is not going to go away, and it doesn't change how hungry we get. But hopefully you consider and think about, let this be an opportunity for the next time you start feeling this way to remember what happened, not make the same mistake again. If we cry over spilt milk, that doesn't mean the milk comes back into the bottle. But at least we know for next time not to knock it over.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I fucked up.
It's okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
We all make mistakes. It's fine. We all make mistakes. And you're gonna grow stronger from it, okay?
I'm just sorry.
And she just like, kind of she just squeezes his hand, just like, you know, lets him have his moment. And she does text Damien, and she's like, I'll deal with it. I'll give you the details as soon as we get there. But you will not burn the bitch down. Who sends that message? I don't know how to send it in text form.
That's okay.
Oh.
And she just looks around and just keeps vigilant of where they are.
All right. At that point, the bus stops, and Joni says, "We're here."
Okay. She gets up and does her, does the thing, and she's ready.
All right. I'm gonna let you two roleplay for just a second via text, and you can read it out loud. But I'm gonna have
Yeah.
Mori roll wits and awareness.
And then, so, Vil, feel free to read it out loud.
If Robbie is in trouble, I will be the force of nature no one has ever seen. No one hurts Robbie, and if something happens to him, I will not be forgiving.
Why? So,
Mori, what'd you get on that wits and awareness?
Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3, a crit. So 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
8 successes.
On the street, not too far from the bus stop, but healthy distance, like halfway down the road, halfway down the lane, there is this large steeple of a really old church.
And Joni is leading you all in that direction.
Aurora replies, "Why do you think I'm doing this? I am trying to protect him."
You hear Mori and see Robbie take a picture of the street sign and send it to Damien.
I see
Rob,
that.
Aurora goes to Joni, and says, "The bishop."
Yeah, you've heard of the boss.
In passing. I guess we have a lot to talk about. You worked for him long?
A while. He's a pretty good guy. To be honest, he didn't seem all that mad that your little child are here kind of fucked up. He's an understanding guy, but a business guy at the same time. You know.
Duly noted. You seem like quite the business guy yourself.
Of course.
So you're close to him, aren't you?
Could be. Or maybe you could be too. The
I'm
church
glad you're very...
seems abandoned. As he takes you in through the side gate, there's a section that is set apart on the, looks like more than an acre lot that is part cemetery. The church itself is fairly large, with two high-peaked steeples, one of them that bears an angel with a trumpet on its cusp. The side door that he opens up and holds open for you leads into a stone room. The room itself looks like maybe when this was constructed, it was a kitchen. But now it acts as a mud room of sorts. And he leads you through it down a narrow hall that opens up into like a antechamber, like sitting room. And then he opens a set of double doors, and you're at the back of a congregational room where there are pews set up. Lots of, I wouldn't say a lot, but at least 10, 15 people are in the, I have no idea what to call this chamber. My brain just, the auditorium for sermons. And down at the end, there's candles that are lit. There's a very large, beautiful decorative cross that looks old. There's a kneeling benches, a low kind of decorative fence for you to lean your elbows on in prayer as you're kneeling. And there's a bowl of water on the dais. And some people dip their fingers in the bowl and draw crosses in the air. And it's hushed, it's quiet, and there's a soft kind of feeling. And Joni nods for you to sit, the group of you to sit down on a pew.
I take a seat. Does this remind me of when my mother would take us to church?
Oh, undoubtedly.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
As you're looking around, if you would like to, you can roll a wits and awareness to kind of take in the people and the area itself.
Yeah, I absolutely will do that. Okay. That is a 3.
Probably the thing that stands out the most is the blonde kid that's dressed. There's no delicate way to put it, but he's dressed kind of like he does tricks. Like he's a
Jester?
he's a young man of the night. He does tricks on the streets. He provides services, and lots of leather straps, holy jeans that show off fishnet covered thighs and knees. Tall, slender, wearing a beanie, so you're not really sure what color his hair is. Very pretty, in a masculine kind of way. And there's a bowl of mints and like pamphlets by the door, and he's eating one of the mints and reading the pamphlet.
Oh, so he's human. Okay.
He's human. And he stands out the most in this area. Everyone else is kind of more dressed, and it looks like there's third shift workers. You know, maybe desperate people that have fallen on times in their lives where they feel backed into a corner, and so they're here and they're praying. So it's very late. But this kid, there's an arrogance about him. And when he looks at your group, he just blatantly stares at you.
I just look at him back. And I wait.
Anything for Mori?
Mori is definitely not sitting, and she has positioned herself in between her, between Aurora and whoever's staring at her. Not that it makes much of a difference, but you know. Aside from that, she is just doing short little messages to Damien, making sure that he knows what is going on. The room that they're in the building. So he'd probably get a whole bunch of texts saying the directions they went. So like front door, right, left, right, or whatever until we got to the place that we're in.
Okay.
Right?
Aurora will mouth Psalms chapter 23 verses 4 through 5. Because her mother basically beat the scripture into her. And she just mouths it and sees what he said and looks at him. If you want me to read it out loud, I can.
If you want
Pull
to.
out my scriptures for this.
If you would like to, you
Yeah.
can. The kid he does come like towards the back of the area, so he's sitting behind you in like the very far pews with more mints in that pamphlet, and he is watching your group, like with curiosity and interest. Absolutely.
And then she smiles and she says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever."
Joni is not gone for very long, and the very priestly looking gentleman, very handsome, on par with Azriel, gorgeous, steps out into the auditorium, and he smiles, and you do not see a single flash of fang, but you know what he is. And a few mortals talk to him. And he's either very good at acting or he isn't acting at all when he puts his hand on these mortals' shoulders and offers them a prayer of comfort or some kind words. And he then makes his way to all of you. Hello.
Well, hello.
Hello, Father.
Joni here has filled me in on your situation. I assume this is the young man.
Yes. And I wanted to formally apologize. Ask for forgiveness.
Of course. Do you mind if I speak to the childer?
He can make his own decisions.
Robbie does look up and is like, I'm really sorry. He lifts his hand, and Robbie's quieted, and he says, come, walk with me. And Robbie gets up, really awkward, and is like, am I gonna die? Is this guy gonna kill me? Am I gonna die?
And I kind of like just nod my head and I kind of like look around a little bit, kind of to see if, I don't know, just like I would kind of like look around and nod over to Robbie. I don't know if Mori would be able to pick on that, but
Oh yeah, definitely 100%.
yeah.
With
and
that,
then
though,
Aurora-
Mori would make sure she informs Stone, protect her, and that's it. Go ahead.
And
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna use heightened senses as well to see if I can listen.
Okay. I mean, he's gonna take Robbie like out and walk in the cemetery. So if you
So
go outside, you can. I mean,
does he motion for us to follow?
he doesn't not motion for you not to follow, and you don't really get the impression that he's gonna be offended if you do.
What does Joni just look at the guy?
Yeah, Joni's not. He doesn't seem worried about it at all. He's just like, that's the boss.
God. Yeah.
Theo,
Aurora
though,
would just
Theo looks absolutely terrified. But the bishop never acknowledged him. Not once.
That's scary. Aurora is gonna put her trust in Mori. And know that if anything happens, she's gonna keep a close eye, but she does kind of want to like stand up and watch from the window, if that makes any sense.
Sure, absolutely. Go ahead and roll wits and awareness.
Mm-hmm. This is so stressful, everybody. Oh my god. That is a whopping 3 with a skull.
Okay. So 2 successes total. Gotcha.
Yeah, 2 successes, yep.
So you're able to see them when they come around. Like, it seems like they're walking kind of a track and talking. Mori, how close do you follow behind them?
Close enough that, like, if somebody had celerity, I could jump in and potentially defend Robbie.
Gotcha. Okay, so here's what happens. The guy is exactly like you would imagine a principal being. right? He doesn't even start with like, I know what you did, you're in trouble. He starts by asking Robbie his name, about school, normal things. And when Robbie seems a little bit relaxed, then he segues the conversation into, so what happened tonight? And he's very quiet, and he's very patient, and he's very listening. And it is hard to say what disciplines he's using, Mori. But it is very clear that this guy is built for talking. Persuasion, comfort, and ease. And there's something about him that's a little out of place. You can't quite put your finger on what it is. But there's just... he's a little too nice for a Kindred. Maybe.
Okay.
And Robbie... I don't know what happened. I was really hungry. It was an accident. I don't know if the guy it will be okay. I felt like I wasn't in control. And the father says, it happens. You're young. You're new. It's normal. It takes time to control these things and to understand them. You're dealing with forces that are so far beyond your scope of normalcy that you're bound to make mistakes. Unfortunately, we live in a world where even your ignorance cannot be a shield. But I won't hold this against you. And Robbie's like, oh, really? It's like, of course not. Your sire, whether she is that adoptedly or not, has offered a very generous boon in exchange for your mistake. But I want you to understand her generosity. So let me teach you a little bit about the night.
Wait, hold on a second. He said generous boon, right? That's not what Aurora said, correct?
Mori wasn't there when Aurora offered what she offered.
Oh, was she not?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mori got there just after she was like, I can heal people, so... yeah.
Okay, cool. Good to know. A generous boon.
Mm-hmm. And unless Mori interrupts, he goes to explain the equivalent to Robbie. And he does it in medieval terms. A king offering a knighthood to a noble, or like a higher seat to a noble, right? For petty theft. And Robbie, when it clicks, he says, oh shit. And the priest says, please, we're at the house of the Lord. He's like, oh, sorry. And he's very patient the way he describes this. And Robbie understands a bit of the favors that work in the world of darkness, that keep...
Oh, while he's doing this,
Yes.
could Mori have sent Aurora, did you offer a boon?
Yeah, you can, yeah. Yeah.
She'll say we'll talk about it.
Sweat's eyes like flicking
Okay, keep going.
sideways.
Yeah, no, like the anime sweat. Let's like.
Yeah.
I actually think this is really good for Robbie to learn. So yeah, no, she's 100% just like yeah, and just listening in. But he's using disciplines on Robbie, right?
Absolutely, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. Cool.
So, and after the lesson, it takes like it's like an hour-long conversation. It's actually really good, but God, there's still just something off about this guy, Mori, and you're not sure what the fuck it is. But it's a valuable lesson.
he explains that it doesn't matter which faction of Kindreddom you're from. That favors hold weight. The word is the blood, and the blood is the word. And you would bring great shame to our father should you deny the word. And it's just, you're just like, this guy. I mean, I understand. I get what he's saying. I like it. Just a little off. Robbie eats it all up. Like, oh, okay, I get that. Understood. And when finally they come back around the cemetery, the bishop actually opens the door for Robbie. And he holds it open long enough for you to pass through. Whether he knows you're there or not, you don't. You've no idea. You don't think he knows?
Yeah, no, that's okay. Mori is going to talk to him as she passes by.
Okay.
I appreciate you not killing him, Father, but maybe next time don't use your disciplines to convince him.
I was wondering if there was a... We all have our skills. And there is always a time and a place to use them. Perhaps next time my disciplines will not be required, should there be no obfuscated guests ready to punctuate my demise, should I misstep.
Just protecting the kid, you know.
Naturally.
There was no intent to harm you, actually, Father.
Naturally.
As I see you as a man of good.
He gives you he touches his heart in kind of a little bow. Even his fingers are pretty. It's terrible. He's got a little black oval ring on his middle finger. They're gorgeous, his hands. I appreciate it.
And yeah, she'll turn visible and give him a bow and walk inside.
Okay. He'll follow in after you. And he'll look over your little pack that you've got here. And he'll say, Aurora. Well, not Aurora. He doesn't know who you are. But he says, shall we discuss?
She has her, by the way, she's been watching out the window with her arms folded. You can tell she's even though she's being respectful, she doesn't like being in church. But she's trying to be as respectful as possible. So she has her arms folded, then she unfolds them, then she folds them again. And she just nods. And she looks back at them. Would you allow someone to join us? Or would you like it just the two of us?
If it will make you more comfortable.
And let's see, Stone or Mori. She looks at Mori, and she says, "Thank you. Can you keep an eye on him?"
If that's what you'd like, yes.
I just hope. And then she kind of touches your forehead, her forehead to your forehead, and looks up at Stone and kind of makes a motion to come follow her.
He does.
While you're doing the forehead touch, Mori says, "Careful. He has manipulation powers."
She nods. And there is a tenderness in her eyes as she looks at you, as if she's just really happy that you're here. You are the strength that she needs. And that she has complete and utter faith. And that's why she's asking you to stay with Robbie.
Yep.
So she's
Full trust in her eyes. That's all. She trusts you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. So yeah, she takes a step out, and she waits for Stone at the door and the bishop.
Okay, Seth follows you. Once outside,
Or Seth, sorry.
the priest introduces himself. I am Killian. What can I call you?
I'm Aurora.
Lovely name.
Yours is as well.
Thank
Pleasure to meet
He
you.
just he smiles. He smiles, and he's so pretty. He's so gorgeous. That smile, poof.
Yeah, and she goes, I'm sure you're very popular with a lot of people. And again, I'm sorry that I actually wanted to meet you, and I'm deeply apologetic that it had to be under these circumstances.
Accidents happen.
Accidents do happen, but this was negligence on my part.
Perhaps. But even all sires cannot control their child's unruly behavior.
He's not mine, but
But in some ways,
he
he is yours.
He's an important member of our group.
Your boon. I would like to discuss, accept, and come to terms.
What are your terms?
The ability to use it at a later date when it is necessary. And a working relationship with one such of yourself.
Define working relationship.
Mutual respect.
I see.
Your allowance in my territory to move throughout, to hunt. And in return, perhaps we can work together. Perhaps there are
What kind
ways
of work?
in which you can offer me assistance.
And what kind of work can I indulge you in? Or what kind of work would you have us do?
And that is where we shall discuss. Your talents. Your capabilities. And of course, I am more than happy to express my own. The boy said you are all new. Is it perhaps possible that you are so new you seek shelter and a guiding hand? Seth kind of like grumbles. He has a little bit of a growl disguised as a clearing the throat. Killian ignores him.
That is very generous of you, Father. However, it is not direction, but I would say an mutual benefit for the both of us.
I can agree.
You see, I've been hearing things, but I'm very interested to hear about what you have to say.
He kind of shifts a little. I see.
Then I shall spell it out for you. A member of my flock. I saw her 2 weeks ago, and I am concerned for her safety. She is a young mother, and her situation is less than ideal.
I remember the one that Azriel was talking about, right?
Yes, Chrissy.
Yeah, Chrissy. Okay.
Um,
And so, okay, with that in mind, she says, "What's wrong with her?"
She is, and he frowns. Well, I suppose I shall just be outright with it. I am not a particularly violent man. However, I would be most indebted should her pimp disappear.
And Aurora says, she does. Did he hurt her? Like, she looks like she seems really pissed. Not at this Killian, but like more at this man. Did he hurt her? Does he?
I am
Like, at the idea that some man would hurt this poor pregnant lady.
I am worried she may have come to harm. Those in my territory are mine, you see. And it is my gifted honor to protect them. But it is only in dire situations I am allowed to partake in violence. And he grins. And it's very, he's beautiful, but it is frightening, this grin. The boy spoke in a way that seemed as though violence, justice, he fixed his phrase, in the hand of our father could be met out through a servant, of course. And in exchange, I would be more than happy to offer you your own piece of my territory, for you to do with as you will.
Father, that's... Thank you for your generosity. I would like to, if you don't mind, correct you on a few things. If that's all right. But I'm a free spirit. I do not serve, and nor do I wish to serve a master. But I would like, and if instead of wording it that way, we could be partners in a give and take relationship
Of course, naturally.
of a business nature. So, if we take care of this problem for you, we'd be more than happy to have the land in exchange. However, I would like to go to the topic of my services, to the use of my skills. I am still growing and learning about them, and I offer, in exchange for your mercy and benevolence of yours and the Holy Father, what would you like? What would you have me do? Is that included in taking care of this man?
I says,
For
no, that could be a future business. In exchange for your young Robbie, I would request but a taste of your blood.
And Aurora, knowing how important blood is in this world, she says, oh man, sorry, everyone. She says, excuse me?
Yes, just a taste.
You do realize what you ask.
I ask for a chance to learn in exchange for Robbie's freedom. Yes.
I understand.
And
This is the one.
now
This
that
seems like a
that
very.
beautiful like face kind of gets a dark angelic cast to it. It is not uncommon that this request be made. No bonding, no fear of bonding, so long as you do not force upon me. Just an opportunity to learn.
And what do you hope to gather from this?
Knowledge. I hope to gather the information required.
To spend the XP to get Valyrian myself.
Yeah, I freaking figured as much. I knew it. A player knew it, and Aurora's just like, oh, he's gonna do voodoo magic.
It gives me an opportunity to better protect my flock. And I should be very clear. My flock are all, and the way he says that, you're like, oh, who choose to take shelter within my territory. Now,
If
in our hypothetical future business dealings, should you provide me a sword, and or the very least the use of those in your company that are a sword, you would not need adherence to the piece of property I give you under my territory. It would be your territory. I want that to be understood. Your offer to save Robbie has inspired me. Very generous. An act of love. And I am inspired by the emotion.
let me make one thing clear, and she does get very like cautiously close to his face, and she's like, my coterie, my group, they are their own people. They are not to be used. They are not tools. They are my comrades. If you need anything, you can ask me. That is the deal. I will consider having you taste of my blood after we've dealt with this man that you have deemed a problem. But this is between you and me.
Most interesting, your reaction. Quite fascinating and inspiring.
You would do the same for your flock.
He kind of smiles, and it's less dark avenging angel and more just handsome. Indeed.
Those that are under my wings,
But I cannot
I protect.
press enough. This taste is in exchange for Robbie to walk free. There are rules in the night. As willing as I am to forgive, ignorance does not protect those from mistakes. You should know this, yes? So this is not a thing necessarily to be considered. It is what I'm asking and what you have offered. Or is your word different than your intentions, Aurora?
And Seth is like his eyes close, like, fuck, this is a kindred.
We could be great partners.
Indeed. I look forward to it.
But I will say, I'm not yours.
Of course. Why ever would you think that? I am sorry if my expressions and the way I've explained myself makes you think otherwise, but I am not looking for you to be beholden to my territory. I am accepting your boon and allowing you to move about it freely.
She's like studying him, looking at his robes, looking at his face, trying to deduce like how old he is.
You have no idea how old this guy is.
Yeah, she's just like she wants him to know that she is studying him. That his pretty face, although pretty,
He's definitely still a kindred. Yes, absolutely. He's yeah. And so, regardless of if he's doing the right thing, lawful evil, I don't. It's just yeah.
I said that I would help you give healing.
And this is indeed helping me.
You do not need healing.
But I
That's
do
what I said.
need healing.
Really?
I need it in the way that a shepherd needs his eyes to watch his flock. I need it in the way like a mother needs her hands to hold her babe close. You can deny it if you would like, but I will be keeping Robbie.
I don't think you want to do that.
Unfortunately, I will have no choice. And it does sound an awful lot like you are attempting to intimidate or threaten me when I promise, Aurora, I simply wish for the opportunity. I wish to be healed. A taste.
You're a man of...
Your words. Your boon. So offered in love for your friend. How inspiring for this child that you have responsibility for. You offer it, and yet now you seem unsure. You seem unwilling to give.
I offered to help someone who was injured, and clearly you have not been injured.
And he recites exactly what you said.
But I have been injured, just as you have, and every other of our kind.
Really? What is the injury that is so grave that it would require... I'm not special.
He kind of gets a little bit of a remote expression on his face.
If you wish to deny it, then deny it. And so be it, we will come to blows. If that is what you wish. All I have done is accepted your offer, and now you are treating me as if I am a scoundrel, which I do not appreciate. I'm a man of my word and a man of the cloth, and I will not be made embarrassed in front of our great father. So please, I will ask you to leave now, if you will not follow through on your word.
Oh, man, Aurora does not like priests. Okay. Stone, you can leave. I would like to talk to Killian for a moment.
Seth backs up but not like he's not completely out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says to Killian, I've not heard of a fine. I have a distrust for priests, okay? But if that's what it takes to keep Robbie free, and she says this very hush hush, then I'll let you have a taste. Just let him go.
Of course. Mistakes happen.
Yeah, I'm paying for it.
He nods. And I am very grateful in this moment that you have divulged such sensitive information. I will not apologize for my beliefs or who and what I am, but I will make apology for your sorrow and pain.
It's not your fault. It's mine. All of this is my fault. Do not apologize what you don't need to, what was not your mistake, but my own.
He reaches for your hand, saying, "May I?"
And yeah, she gives her hand. She's very uncomfortable right now. But she holds her. She just, in her mind, she's doing it for Robbie. If this is what it takes to get him out.
He doesn't just immediately strike or anything. He does just look at your palm, very, like, barely touching the back of your hand. Like, this is the only point of contact. He's actually, like, kind of shifted away to try to offer you some kind of comfort. But it is very predatory regardless. And the question in his eyes is, would you like to strike yourself or would you like him to?
Oh, she does it herself, absolutely.
Okay.
She just takes the box cutter that she keeps in her bag and strikes her palm.
Oh. Okay. Roll of resolve and composure.
Okay. Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, okay. That was kind of actually not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
You resist all the heady feelings. He is stunning. Like you're stunning, but he's ethereal, I guess is what I should say, right? You're stunning, you're gorgeous,
Yeah.
you strike mortals dumb. There's something about him that is majesty. You picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah.
And when he licks at your palm, man, it is so. It's the sex, man. He's just really, I don't know how to.
She looks at him in defiance, just like, I'm not gonna fall for your charms.
Yeah.
I'm just like, she's trying her best.
And when he pulls away, Seth is actually a lot closer. And one of his eyes is whiskey colored. And he's trembling. And he's standing not too far behind Killian as Killian straightens. Thank you for the gift.
And it's not a gift. It's a business deal.
Of course. He lets go and moves, steps back, and he almost bumps into stone. What do you do?
She'll say, "Thank you for talking to me, and I appreciate. I hope that uh, I hope that we can conduct business again.
Likewise. I look forward to it.
I'll deal with your problem as
Perhaps
and
we can make an official deal about it.
storyteller official deal about the pimp or
Yes, about the pimp. Because
okay.
basically what he brought up was just like an example. He is actually genuinely worried about this young woman. He hasn't said her name or anything.
Yeah.
But in terms of like
Yeah, no,
giving you a haven
our-
and stuff, it's basically he wants you to figure out what you might need or want, kind of a thing.
Once we take care of the problem, we can start finalizing.
I would
Is that
prefer to know the terms before going in, so that there are no surprises on either side. Please. I have a lot of people I take care of.
all right? We'll come back to you with a formal proposal, and you can choose to accept, or we'll be on our way. And as she's about to turn, she says, "And Theo, he didn't know. He offered help as if."
Of course.
You do what you will with your subjects, but I ask to give him some credit.
Leniency. I understand, yes. Theo is also young.
And she's looking at him, searching. Like, you seem to have a lot of power and can do great things with it.
Yes.
I just hope it's the right thing.
And when he says yes, you don't detect any lie. It's just solid confidence.
I'm gonna tarry here for a little bit, if you don't mind.
Not at all. Take all the time you need. Shall I leave you to your thoughts?
If that's all right with you.
He nods, gives you a little slight bow. Then he bows at Seth. That when you look at Seth, no change, just violet eyes, standing still. He's back to what he was before, and maybe you just hallucinated the whiskey-colored eye.
When he's left, she tries to find a fountain, something, anything,
Oh, yes.
and she washes her hands, and she's like scrubbing really hard on her hand, and she's like it's all that calm just is breaking down.
Seth won't be too far from you, and will meanwhile
as you're having this moment. To Mori, is there anything in particular for Mori inside the church?
Legitimately, it's her, like, it's a sort of an unintentional thing, but like, she's been trained to do one thing, and she's been looking at the numbers. She's been looking at places that she could take you know advantage of in a combat, ways to escape, things like that. That's what she's doing.
Oh yeah, there's plenty. There's lots. But also, like, in doing it, it feels kind of weird. It feels kind of wrong. You're like, oh, why do I feel this way?
Okay, is something being used on me?
Nope. Not that you can tell. It just...
Okay, so I have an ability called Tempered Will. Okay, it says you are always aware when someone is using Dominate or Presence on you.
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
It just... this place just feels sacred. You're not
Oh, well, that's fine.
You're not entirely sure why either, because it's such a mortal construct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an interesting feeling, really. So it's just there. And you're not sure why. Not yet, at least.
Well, maybe she feels a little bad about it, but she's still doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is you feel a little off about it, but you still do it, right? It's like John Wick
Perfect.
in a preschool kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of weird, but
If anyone's looking at her, because she is visible, there is zero intent to harm anyone.
yeah, and most of the people, by the time Killian comes back inside, they've left for the evening. Like, it's mostly just there's like that one kid that looks like he's a streetwalker, and another human who's older, and then your coterie, your pack. Yep. And
No.
I think at that point, we meanwhile to Damien and Azriel. After we clear up these footsteps, would the two of you have gone to the church?
No. If Aurora wants to handle it, she can handle it.
Okay.
He'll just deal with the aftermath of it if he's ever informed about what happens.
Wherever the leader says goes.
Okay. Then let me just ask, is there anything else for Mori, or is it just casing before I describe this next piece?
I mean, not really. Like, unless there's a way to get, like, Robbie in a more quote-unquote secure position so that he doesn't, like, whatever happens, he doesn't just, like, get jumped and, like, murdered.
Unless you, like, physically move him or tell him to, he's just sitting in the pew and, like, texting Damien everything that Killian and him talked about. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so if... Nope. Actually, if I can, I'm just gonna use Cloak of Gathering and turn him and myself invisible while we're just sitting there.
Damn. Okay, roll dexterity and stealth, because that kid that is dressed in very little has been just staring at you the whole time.
Yee. Sounds good. So you said Dexterity and Stealth. Can I add Obfuscate to that?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of dice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, lost the dice. 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I can add my Obfuscate, I have 5 more. Oh, there we go. With the added obfuscate, I had 4, so I got 9. Yeah, I had rolled 13 dice. Or, sorry. Let's see. 4 plus 4 plus 5. Yeah, I rolled 13 dice. I got 9.
Okay. That kid who's dressed in ripped up clothes and fishnets, you do disappear in a way that he can't find you. And he does kind of like look around the church. And since you are obfuscated, go ahead and roll a wits and awareness.
Oh, sure. Hold on. What's an awareness? Actually, I totally forgot about the kid. Mori might have said or did something. Anyways, what's awareness? 2, 3. Ooh. 7. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 successes. I rolled 8 like 6 times.
No worries. So when Killian comes in, that kid approaches Killian because he was looking for you guys, and you overhear him essentially asking Killian to feed on him without actually saying it. Meaning this kid is one of those naturally,
Like a bond slave sort of thing.
yep, like he's just into it, addicted. Yeah, kind of like the guy you guys met in the park way back when Felix was a part of the coterie.
Miss Felix.
So, is Killian already back? Bishop Killian?
Yes, this kid, literally you overhear this kid asking Killian if Killian will feed on him.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and Killian just sort of, he segues, right? He's very charismatic in the way that he, is like, no, you need to rest, you're, you can't keep pushing yourself like this.
And this is the kid that was staring at me and...
Aurora, yeah, your whole group. Probably,
Okay.
you can assume at this point he probably thought you guys were some kind of kindreds and might have been like, hey, do you want to feed on me? Like soliciting you for sex, but for feeding.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got that right away.
I didn't understand that at all. I'm just like, the fuck is this guy? I'd like, legitimately... Okay, I was
He's an addict and
legitimately
he's trying to
going
get his
to...
fix.
Yeah.
I was gonna be like, mind your own business, David.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's addicted.
Yeah. Well, yeah, then I guess all Mori does is kind of look at him with pity, almost.
Yeah. Sad.
He doesn't do anything else, though.
Okay, no worries. All right. So the footsteps. Meanwhile, after that, into the forest, Damien and Azriel. There's 2 sets, but only one person steps through, and it's Mia. But you distinctly heard the second. She just says, is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine. Seems like Olaz got himself in a little bit of trouble, so... He, like, pats him on the back, like, not as, like, an insult, but as, like, he's got your back, like, but I got him.
I am very
I
lucky
got him.
Damien came for me.
Oh, yeah, show her the picture.
I'll flip open my phone and show her the corpse I found.
That makes her, like, wince and kind of jerk a bit. What the fuck?
I'm assuming some sort of mage harvested the parts.
I don't know
They
what the
upset
fuck
some-
that is.
There's got to be other ways to use powers. I've read some weird things in the occult.
We can't let this continue happening.
It's gotta end.
Yeah,
Gotta
of
stop.
course. I made sure to cover up the area. That's how I upset some spirit.
We need to identify who she was. Her family needs to know, even if it's not necessarily us, but tell them.
We do have a power that might
So
help if we go back.
I guess so. I mean, how are we gonna identify someone when they don't even have a head?
I identified those fingernails you gave me. The ones from the
Right,
cave.
makes sense.
She's like, yeah, they belonged to one of the youngest daughters of the Mercy family.
Might be a little hard after I used my power to kind of destroy most of the evidence.
But your power doesn't make bodies decay faster, correct?
It doesn't make undead bodies decay faster.
Oh, it just makes... I see.
Yeah.
No, right here. Does not speed up the decay of dead things.
Oh, okay, then that's good.
Yeah. So if she was living, you could have just sucked the life out of her, maybe.
The power does mess up people that are living.
I guess we can cut off her hands then.
Just something. Hold on. And Mia's gonna go back into Isabel's shop and get like plastic baggies and Q-tips and stuff.
I'm gonna use Eyes of the Beast.
Okay.
Just see better in the dark.
When when Mia comes back, she is a little unnerved by your glowing red eyes.
When you came out here initially, I heard 2 footsteps. Did you hear them? The other said.
No, I thought I was alone.
I heard them.
That makes her a little nervous. She's got her like kit to go check the dead body, and she looks around. Well, stay close to me. Azriel, lead the way.
I'll lead the way. There might be a little bit of my DNA on the body since I dug up the corpse already once and reburied it.
No, you don't leave DNA anymore, pal. You're a dead body. You leave nothing.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
That's good. I guess.
Okay.
I'll take him back to the area, though.
Okie dokie. You get
They can
there.
see the aftermath.
You get there in the aftermath, and oh boy. Oh boy. It is ugly. I need you to roll Wits and Awareness with a circumstance bonus. Bill?
Ooh. Oh. How much with that circumstance bonus?
2 extra dice in this case because you're using Eyes of the Beast.
Got it.
All right. We like that.
5.
It feels like you're being watched.
What the fuck? Did you see that?
No, you know you're being watched. As she examines the body. And that's where we're going to end tonight.
All right.
Woohoo!
Oh my god! But oh, I'm excited because there was one thing I was thinking about, and now I am definitely gonna cash in on that.